Hey, JJ here. Hope you're doing well. All right, everyone. This is a extended version of a small short video that I put together where I talk a little bit about the 2013 B series star notes. And in that short video, I showed everyone the B series star note that I came across in circulation. And for a moment, I was excited because I thought it was a part of that matching pair population. But as I looked at the serial number, I realized that it actually did not qualify. So I'm going to show you that bill again a little bit later in the video. But right now, I want to talk a little bit about the 2013 B Series star notes, the whole excitement around finding them and what it means, and talk a little bit about just one of the projects that's going on that looks to track the star notes. Okay, so and then I'll conclude with a small demonstration of a website that I use to look up the star notes, and we'll clearly see that when we type in the year, the series of this particular star note, it will provide us with options to either select the Fort Worth, Texas option or the Washington, D.C., and that's just another indicator that you potentially may have a duplicate. It's going to identify for you whether or not you do so. That'll be fun to see, and I'll use my cell phone for that. But let's just dive right in. So yes, the 2013 star notes, they're fun. You know, star notes in general are fun to find. They're just basically replacement notes. And 2013 was an interesting series, the B series, the New York seal, because the Bureau of Engraving and Printing authorized the Washington, D.C. location to print a range of star notes or replacement notes. And then subsequently 2 years later, there was authorization from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing for the Fort Worth, Texas location to print replacement or star notes. And what happened was that there were duplicates that were printed. And that's not supposed to be the case, because the star notes or the notes in general are supposed to be unique and have a unique serial number. Okay, so what ultimately happened as a result of the duplication is you have a number of star notes from this series and year that are duplicates, one from the Washington, D.C. and one from the Fort Worth, Texas. And the only way to identify which version you have is by looking at that front face plate serial number. It'll say FW. And again, when I show you guys the star note that I have, we'll be able to see that in real time. So I just have a little spreadsheet here where I started to kind of talk a little bit about it. This is just for my own edification. I just thought this was a fascinating sort of thing that happened, and it's rare, of course, and that is why these could potentially be valuable. All right, so let's start with this Washington, D.C. over here, and these first replacement runs of the D.C., Washington, D.C. location to print star notes for, again, the B series occurred in 2014 in the months of October, November. And that location was authorized to print star notes at 1 to 250,000, and then 3.2 million and one up to 9.6 million. When you add those up, you're going to get 6.65 million. Okay, 2 years later, Fort Worth, Texas was authorized to print star notes for 1 up to 6.4 million, and then through that 6.4 million number up to 9.6. So they actually had a bigger range. Okay, but as you notice, within the ranges, there's overlap, right? And the overlap then is really that first 250,000, and then from 3.2 million one up to 9.6 million. All right, so that's the duplicate. That makes up that duplicate population. So I wrote a note over to the right that says, in short, it's the first 250,000, and then what I said again, the 3.2 million one up to the 9.6 contain the duplicate, and only in that range. Okay, so as a result, you have that 6.4 million plus the 250,000. When you add that up, you're looking at 6.65 million from Washington, D.C., 6.65 million from Fort Worth, Texas, and that's where that 13.3 million of the specific bills that qualify, okay? And so what that basically boils down to then is just 6.65 million duplicates or theoretical matching pairs in the entire world. All right. It seems like a lot of opportunity, but it's actually a lot harder than people think. These duplicates can be sitting anywhere in the world, in anyone's pocket change, in anyone's collections, in anyone in a bank vault somewhere, or they could just be flat out destroyed. We have no idea where these are. Okay. And moving down my spreadsheet. So it's again the Series 2013 $1 New York B seal star notes. The only visible difference is the FW on the faceplate. So that's the only way you know if you have the Fort Worth one, or if you don't have that FW, then you have the Washington, D.C. one. And the objective of this entire thing and what makes this fun is to find and unite the matching pair or the twin, right? So that's what makes it so much fun. You can go up the street, you may get, one of the qualifying bills in your pocket change here in the United States, and the matching pair could be somewhere in Australia, could be somewhere in the UK. I mean, you just never really know. And so that's what makes it difficult to unite them. And the first matching pair was found in 2019. So I talk a little bit about valuation, and I call out here individually. If you find just one of them, it's worth approximately $15 to $35 plus or minus a couple dollars, folks. And I've seen those transactions on pretty much eBay and Mercari. There's other websites obviously too, but just from a quick convenience sample, that's what I looked at, those couple of platforms. And so by themselves, okay, great, you'll get 15 to 35 bucks a piece, but where the valuations really start to explode is when you can find both of them and unite them to create that matching pair. And when you can do that, from what I've seen, again, plus or minus, you're looking at anywhere between 5,000 to 15,000. And of course, grade, condition will have a lot of that variability in that range, has a lot to do with those two factors. And as I say here at the bottom, I say, note, valuations are fluid. And what a ready, willing, and able buyer pays today may not be what they pay in the future, again, because things are fluid. The market could heat up for them or it could cool off. But I suspect that because, again, the rarity of these, that it's going to be a pretty lucrative market if you can find that matching pair. And then the last comment that I make here, from a tracking standpoint, I know I've seen some collectors start their own spreadsheets. And so I basically just say here, hey, if this is a hobby of yours and you're really into it, you can do your own research where you go on different websites and see who's willing to sell theirs. And you may get extremely lucky where you find someone that, let's say, for instance, on eBay, someone could be selling the Fort Worth duplicate, and you go on Mercari, Etsy, so on, and you find someone else that has that exact identical serial number from this series, and they have the Washington, D.C. pair. And if you were to buy those individually, you now have the matching pair. So you literally could go from paying $15 to $35 a piece for those. Once you unite them, the valuations then put you in that thousands of dollar range, and that's really cool. The second thing that I saw was that I came across what's referred to as this Project 2013B, and just a couple of excerpts from that website said that it's an attempt to connect people with matching $1 star notes, and that what the project ultimately does is it maintains a database of the serial numbers submitted by both paper money collectors and the general public alike. And then from additional reading, I saw that what they do is the administrators, once they identify a matching pair based on the information that has been submitted by the paper money collectors and the general public alike, they will basically reach out, get to their attention like, hey, there's a matching pair. If you guys want to now potentially work together to unite them, then hey, you got a lot of money that's potentially sitting out there for you all to go after. That's basically the skinny on the 2013 B star notes. You have a range again that qualify for the duplicate matching pair sort of project or hobby, and the idea is to match them up. You got to find that matching pair. So let me move my computer out of the way now, and let's take a look at one of the star notes that I came across that prior to doing some research, a little bit of research on it, I thought this was actually one of the duplicates, but it turned out not to be. All right, so right off the bat, if you look at that B, so you have the B seal for Federal Bank, Reserve Bank of New York. You have the B and then the serial number. And as you can see, 11,343,790. So right off the back, this is way higher than that upper limit range, which stopped at 9.6 million. Therefore, this does not even qualify. It's a star note. It is a replacement note, but it's not the one that has the duplicate. Okay. As you can see here, series 2013. So in terms of just the bill itself, I mean, it's going to be a face value $1 bill. Someone else may still find it cool, and if you wanted to sell it, you might be able to get a couple bucks for it, who knows. But as far as the duplicate opportunity, this will not qualify because it's 11 million, and again, that upper limit is 9.6 million. The faceplate serial number here, if I zoom on in, you sort of see that it says FW, and then I think it says H space 145. Okay, so the FW, let's just say you do come across a duplicate opportunity. That FW faceplate right there, that stands for Fort Worth. If you don't have that FW, then you know you have the Washington one, all right? So now, let me... in a minute, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show everyone the website that I'm using. You've seen this in some of my other videos where if you come across star notes or even fancy serial numbers, you can look them up. And we'll take a look at what it shows when you type in serial numbers from the 2013 series. Okay, so be back in a minute. Okay, JJ back. Now, as I mentioned, I'm using a website that I've used to just look up the star notes, look up the run size. Again, as you can see here, we have the star note B. It's 11,343,790, series 2013. Okay, so what I have here, I have my cell phone. I go to star note, look up, and as you can see, it brings me to this screen where you can put in the denomination, the year, and then the serial number. So let me take off my little glove here so I can actually type. All right, so let's see, I'm going to type in 11. Actually, hold on, I need to put the letter in. Okay, so B, and then I'm going to do 1 1 3 4 3, and then 790, and then I'm going to do look up your star note. Okay, and then it's going to ask, does it have a star? Yes, it has a star. All right, so this is the regular run size of 3.2 million. It's not very rare, it's less rare. It's a replacement type, obviously. And so nothing special, okay, about this one. Right, now let's do another one that fits within that range. Okay, let's just say we have the B series. I'm going to do 249,000 because we know the first 250,000 fit in the range. Okay, so I'm going to say 0 0 2 4 9. Let's do 0 0 0. Okay, so 249,000, $1, 2013. Okay, look up your star note. Okay, so here we go. Now, you see that it says how to determine print facility, and it tells you, because this is indicating that there's duplicates of this, right? So I'm going to say that up here I have the FW one. So you click on that, you can have a drop down for Washington DC or the Fort Worth, Texas. I clicked on the Fort Worth. Okay, now I'm going to say look up your star note. Okay, and then it asks you, does it have the star? Yes. Okay, so they're telling you this one has a regular run size of 3.2 mil. But if you scroll down, you're going to see it says important note. The first 250,000 serial numbers were printed twice, once at the Fort Worth printing facility and once at the Washington DC printing facility. Okay, so obviously with that serial number that I typed in, mine will qualify. Okay, let's do another one. Let's make up one. Let's do 550,000. 1, 2, 3. Okay, look up your star note. Same thing. In this particular case, I'll just pick up on I'll do the Washington DC. Look up your star note. Yes, it has a star note. Okay. Same thing, it'll tell me the run size and things like that. Again, this one says important note. This run of serial numbers were printed twice. Once at the Fort Worth printing facility and once at the Washington DC. So again, when you punch in those numbers, you're going to get some guidance, a little bit of guidance from this website. You can look at the run size and things like that, and then you have to put in the facility number. But this is something that I've sort of helped me as I'm coming across these to try to kind of punch it in for a little bit of guidance, look to see if it's a part of that duplicate. So that's just one thing. Again, just to review in conclusion, not all of the 2013 B series qualify as the matching pair or the duplicates, and that's very, very important. As you can see here, my number is 11,343,790. This does not qualify because the upper limit is 9.6 million. Okay, so again, the first 250,000 and then 3.2 million in one up to 9.6 million. When you combine those numbers, that's 6.65 million potential pairs that were printed at both the Fort Worth, Texas location and the Washington, DC location. Those are the only ones from this B Series 2013 that qualify as the matching pair or finding the twin. So if this is new to you, please comment. Let me know what you think. I think it's pretty interesting. If this is something that you are familiar with, but you think I added some additional color commentary that helped you, please let me know that too. I'd love to hear from you. Outside of that, hey, have fun with it and enjoy it. And if you're wanting to purchase a few of these in hopes of finding the matching pair somewhere, as I said, you can start your own spreadsheet, or it appears there's a project out there already that's helping facilitate and coordinate the matching of these. You know, do some research on the website, and if it's something you want to participate in, you know, go ahead and submit your data. Again, make sure you do your homework on it. I think they're only asking for the serial number and I think your email. But again, before you submit any data, make sure you feel confident with it, do your homework on it, and give it a shot, all right? Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the hunt. Have a good one.